Well, here's some breaking news. This is just into NewsNation. Officials in Philadelphia say a body has, in fact, been recovered from the wreckage of this. It's happened after a portion of a busy roadway collapsed yesterday. I-95 there. Thick black smoke seen for miles after this overpass there crashed down in Philadelphia because a tanker truck carrying more than 8,000 gallons of fuel caught fire on the northbound side. That is the after effect that you're looking at. And federal investigators say the southbound side is compromised. It will also have to be demolished. Now, here's some perspective. I-95 stretches from Maine to Florida. This portion of the highway carries more than 150,000 vehicles each and every day. That means the closure is setting off a ripple effect, which is likely to impact millions over the summer months. NewsNation's Dre Clark live for us in Philly. Dre, we have that new information about a body, in fact, remains have been confirmed to have been recovered.
Yes, state police telling us they recovered a human remains this afternoon from the crash site here along Interstate 95 and that portion of road that collapsed yesterday. Since the accident happened yesterday, there had been continued reports from investigators, from officials saying there were no reports of injuries, no reports of fatalities. But this afternoon, I noticed that officials started to walk back those comments. In fact, I even asked them directly, about any human remains being found at the site. They denied it, but now it all makes sense as to why they were beginning to walk back those comments, saying there were no injuries, there were no fatalities, because we now know that a body was recovered this afternoon. It is now in the process of being identified. Meanwhile, we also learned this afternoon that both the northbound side where the collapse occurred and the southbound side will have to be demolished, and crews are already in the process of doing that. They expect to have that work done probably by the end of the week. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro did declare the accident a disaster. That frees up money, about $7 million, so they can begin that repair work or to begin to rebuild that bridge. And a federal administrator even assured the state today that Pennsylvania will have all necessary federal funding it needs to get the job done. Here's more from Pennsylvania Congressman Brendan Boyle talking about how losing this section of road has an impact that goes well beyond Philadelphia.
This is a critical roadway, not just for Northeast Philadelphia, not just for Philadelphia or the Philadelphia region, for the entire mid-Atlantic. I-95 stretches from Maine to Miami. I dare you to find a more densely populated 40 or 50 mile area around 95 than right here where we're standing. So people are going to be impacted from New York City to well south of here. So getting this reconstructed as quickly and safely as possible is my highest priority.
Pennsylvania State Police also giving us some insight into what happened leading up to that fiery crash, telling us the driver of that tanker truck that caused the accident was carrying 8,500 gallons of fuel. And when the driver exited the highway yesterday morning while trying to turn a curve, he lost control, hit a wall, and that caused that tanker to explode. State police say they, again, have made contact with the company to get more information about what that driver was doing, where he was coming from, where he was going. But they are also in the process of trying to identify the driver. Now, this is how the highway looked yesterday morning, moments after the truck burst into a ball of flames, heavy black smoke rolling across the highway and into the air. Some drivers even raced through the smoke, unaware the highway was on the verge of collapsing, that intense heat causing the highway to collapse. The southbound side also suffering major structural damage, forcing officials to close the highway in both directions. It may, in fact, take months, several months, before the roadway is fully repaired. And that's, of course, going to leave thousands of people exploring new ways to make their way around because the roadway is now closed in both directions. Now, investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board, they are already on the ground here in Philadelphia, and they say they should have a preliminary report available within a few weeks or so. But meanwhile, Nichole, that stretch of road every day, 160,000 drivers would use it. Now with that road not available, so many people now taking detours and diversions, stuck in traffic that is a mile long, or using public transportation. And some people are saying hopefully they can go ahead and work from home until this situation all gets sorted out. Nichole?
Oh, yeah, 160,000 people trying to detour. My goodness. All right. Dre, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.